Good day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to look at forecasting, Unit 2 in our Business Operations Manual. Forecasting is a very important topic for organizations and businesses because it allows them to predict what the future demand for goods and services will be. Why is this important? Because organizations are there to meet needs. They are there to meet the demand of their customers depending on the type of goods or services that they are producing. And forecasting enables them to be proactive. So it's actually an essential planning tool because it allows organizations to be proactive to meet the demand that is existing or that will be existing. It is extremely dangerous if an organization does not forecast the demand for its goods or services because it could overproduce and incur unnecessary costs that could have been minimized, because then it will be sitting with goods that cannot be sold. On the other hand, there is also danger of not having enough stock, for example, in store for customers, because then that gives a very bad image of the organization and its capability. So therefore, forecasting is an extremely important planning tool for every organization. Now we have got different techniques of forecasting, both the qualitative and quantitative techniques. But today we are just going to focus on the quantitative techniques, and in particular the averaging techniques. The averaging techniques are very important because they counteract the randomness of a quantitative method referred to as the naive method. Now, with the naive method, it takes the demand from the previous period and projects it into the future to be the demand for the next period. So, for example, if the demand for bread was 500 loaves in the last period, then the naive method takes that demand of 500 loaves and projects it as the demand for the next month. Now, the life doesn't normally work like that, and therefore the averaging techniques really help to smooth out that randomness. How does the averaging technique work? It normally assumes that the market demand will be fairly constant. So if we take the example of the Ongwendiva Trade Fair, for example, the organizers want to know what the demand for 2014 will be in terms of people who are going to be attending the trade fair, as well as those who are going to be exhibiting products. They can go back to historical actual data from, for example, from the year 2010 until the year 2013, and look at the actual demand in terms of people who attended the trade fair. And then they can take the actual demands from these 4 periods and they divide it by 4 in order for them to get a total that could be the projected forecast amount for 2014. So this is basically how the simple moving average works. It simply takes actual data from the past divided by the number of periods that have been taken in order to project the future demand for the next period. Now, we also have got what we refer to as the weighted moving averages. When a detectable trend or pattern is present, weights can be added to the actual historical data with emphasis on the most recent data. This practice makes forecasting techniques more responsive to changes because more recent periods may be more heavily weighted. The choice of weights is actually arbitrary and depends on the experience of the person who is doing the forecast. Therefore, deciding which weight to be that will be required depends on the experience of that particular person. I hope that this helps you and irons out any questions or queries or confusions you might be having about the weighted moving averages and the moving averages. I wish you all the best in all your endeavors as you do the different exercises. Thank you so much.